Everybody, welcome to inventory part 16. This is weighted average periodic. So let's talk about weighted average periodic. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing what it says. We're going to take a total weighted average of the inventory as of the end of the month. So what we're going to do is we're going to take our goods available for sale, divide it by our units available for sale. This is going to give us a weighted average cost per unit. Once we have that weighted average cost per unit, we're going to multiply it by the unit sold. Then we're going to multiply it, basically multiply by units sold. That's what's going to determine cost of goods sold. Then we're going to multiply it by ending inventory units to get our value of ending inventory. So for weighted average periodic, remember, goods available for the sale, same as what we were doing before. Units available for sale, units sold, all of this is exactly the same. Again, as we're going through and doing this, all we're going through and doing is we're figuring out how do we assign the dollar amounts from inventory to cost of goods sold. This is what we're doing with all these different questions. So right over here, what we're going to do right now is let's take a weighted average. So I'm going to take my goods. So cost of goods sold under weighted average periodic. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take my goods available for sale. I'm going to divide this by my units available for sale. This is going to give me a weighted average inventory cost per unit. So when I take 249,000, which is my goods available for sale, I divide this by 16.5. I know I'm going to get some kind of crazy fraction, but let's just do it anyways. So I get over here. Yeah, Bennett, good job, dude. Well, there's a reason why I did this. So the other one will work out better. So right over here, my weighted average cost per unit is $15.09. Okay, so right over here, what I'm going to go through and do, again, this is periodic. We're assuming that all sales happened at the end of the period. So I'm going to aggregate the goods available for sale, divide it by my units available for sale. So for my cost of goods sold, it's going to be $15.09, which is my weighted average cost per unit. I'm going to go ahead and multiply that by my units sold, which is going to be 90,000. Let's see over here. 90,000. Let's actually just 0.09. Okay, there we go. So we're just going to use, I'm basically just going to use an absolute value, $15.09. This is going to be rounded. So if you're trying this at home, children, you may get a little bit of a different response. Okay, so we've got over here, this is my cost of goods sold under weighted average periodic. Okay, so again, this number here, right? I'm going through and I'm rounding it. So our numbers are going to look a little bit different. So if I know my cost of goods sold based on the relationships earlier, I can now easily determine the value of my ending inventory. So my cost of goods sold is going to be 98,085 or 85. What is going to be my ending inventory? Well, I can take 249,000, which is my goods available for sale. And if I subtract over here my cost of goods sold that I just computed, this is going to give me my ending inventory under weighted average periodic, okay, or 150,915. Now you might be asking yourself, okay, Tchaikovsky, is there another way we can go through and figure this out to make sure this number is right? Well, let's do it this way. My units in ending inventory are going to be 10,000. Remember, this holds true for every single one of the parts we're going over here and doing. My weighted average cost per unit under periodic is going to be $15.09. When I multiply this through, I get 150,900. Why is it off? Because I rounded the numbers, right? This is 15.9090. If I use the exact number, I would get it, but right over here, I rounded it. this is close enough for what we're trying to do. Remember, these two have to equal the total goods available for sale. So now that we've wrapped up our periodic methodologies, what I'm going to do right now is prepare for you a very quick scorecard just so we can kind of see some of the commonalities. Just give me a moment. Okay, so this is our scorecard. We're just going to look at what we've done so far to date. So for FIFO periodic, from one of our prior videos, we had cost of goods sold is 75. Our ending inventory over here is 174. And I just screwed that up. Just let's do this right. And then over here, we got 174. Under LIFO periodic. So yeah, LIFO periodic, we've got cost of goods sold. And then over here, we're going to have our ending inventory of 132. And Tchaikovsky, you're doing it again. Okay, let's come over here. Oh, perfect. Okay, weighted average periodic. I've got 98,085. And then over here, I've got 150,915. Notice here, our total amount that we've assigned, this has to equal goods available for sale, right? Why are these different dollar amounts? Because prices are rising in our example. Depending if prices are going up or down, that is going to be giving a different amount that we're going to be going through and assigning to cost of goods sold or to ending inventory. So let's go ahead now. We'll take a little break and we're going to come back and we're going to learn the perpetual methods, or like an episode of The Bachelor, the dates matter. It's Tchaikovsky. You're using your old humor. Of course I am, right? It takes a while to write up that stuff. In any event, I want to thank you for joining me here today. Please leave any kind of questions you have for me below. Appreciate your liking and subscribing to these videos, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one.